Hey everybody, Nick here. I got a comment over on one of our YouTube videos about how to remove backgrounds from photos. And if you've been in PowerPoint recently, you know that they have unveiled a new set of AI-powered background removal tools and picture editing tools there. So the old background remover is gone. And some people really like that old background remover. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of a tip on how you can bring that old background remover back to your PowerPoint. We're going to add it to the Quick Access Toolbar. So all you need to do when you're in PowerPoint, go to File, and then we're going to go to Options. And then what we're going to do is customize, or actually we're going to go to Quick Access Toolbar. There's also a way that you can add this back to your ribbon if you want to, but I'm just going to do it through the Quick Access Toolbar. So we're going to click on Quick Access Toolbar. Under Popular Commands right here, we're going to switch this to All Commands. And you'll see that list updates. And I'm going to scroll all the way down to remove background. So let's go all the way down to the R's. It's nice that they're all alphabetically ordered for us. Here we go. Let's see, remove. Almost there. Here we go. So this is going to, you'll see this remove background here under picture tools. I'm going to go ahead and click it and then click on the add button. And that adds it to our Quick Access Toolbar, the QAT. So I'm going to click OK, and now you can see right up here on my Quick Access Toolbar that remove background icon is there, but it's grayed out because I don't have any photos selected. So let's go ahead and select this photo. This is just a photo on my slide right here, and you can see the remove background icon is now activated on the QAT. I'm going to go ahead and click it, and there is our old background remover. Now, the bad thing about the old background remover was that it wasn't that great to begin with inside of PowerPoint. It was really good inside of PowerPoint Online, but not quite as good in the desktop app. So you can go here and you can kind of say mark areas to remove. I'm just going to remove this whole thing. Maybe I just wanted to get that ball out of the way. Mark areas to keep. I'm going to click the top of this ball and see how that goes for me. Pretty decent. I'm going to say keep changes, and now I have removed the background from that photo. So if you want your old background remover back in PowerPoint, you can go ahead and get it on your QAT, your Quick Access Toolbar, just like that. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it. You'll get notified every time I post a new video in data design, usually PowerPoint, Excel, or Word. Had a great time making this for you, and I can't wait to see you next time.